Welcome to one of my Runeterra highlight videos. I highlight a different deck almost every single day of the week. If you enjoy the content, remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below. Enjoy. Okay, so go easy or go hard Ezreal here. Go hard, one of the new KDA cards that's really sweet. So 1 mana, drain 1 from a unit, and then shuffle 2 copies of Go Hard into your deck. So every time you play a Go Hard, you get more copies to draw into. If you've played 3 copies of Go Hard, all of your Go Hards turn into Pack Your Bags, which is easily a game-ending card most times you play it. Deal 5 damage to every enemy and their Nexus as well. So Ezreal got I'm not going to say a buff or a nerf, but he got just a change. So Ezreal now only needs to have you target enemies 6 times to level up. And his leveled mode is a little bit less combo focused than prior. So if you're not casting a spell, targeting an enemy, you're only dealing 1 damage with him now. I actually really like this change. I feel like this makes Ezreal a lot more flexible card. It's a card that can go in kind of mid-rangey decks like what we're playing here today, as opposed to like dedicated combo decks that are entirely things to level him up. The core of this deck is just good, reasonable things that target past Go Hard. We got things like Thermo Beams, Mystic Shots, Vile Feast, Static Shock, Vengeance for a little bit heavier interaction, and then I've got a bit of a unit sub-theme in Elise to generate extra blockers, Hapless Aristocrat, Jury Rig, Zaunite Urchin, so that way we can leverage Glimpse Beyond, very reasonable way to draw more cards. So between Glimpse Beyond and Progress Day, these should hopefully allow us in the late game to get back to Go Hard, into Pack Your Bags, to get that finisher from this card. I've also got Rummage in here as a way to filter through our deck, and because we're playing Urchin and Rummage, I'm electing to play Jury Rig as another way to generate units for Glimpse, as well as be a card that we don't mind discarding for value. So let's go ahead and dive on into some games here with this and see how it goes. I know a few other streamers have been working on variations of this. A lot of the builds that I saw other people playing were a little bit more spell focused. They weren't playing Elise. And I think having a little bit more units that play to the board is potentially a good place to be. Yeah, in the Scouts deck, Quinn levels up super frequently. Pretty sure we always mulligan Progress Day in the opener. Mono Yasuo, eh? I feel like with Ezreal getting the nerf on how he interacts with burst spells, playing Chump Wump in this deck is putting a card in our deck that's not very good in order to enable another card.
We could use a bite.
Elise showing some of her flexibility here, letting us get aggressive, which is nice. This card really always impressed with this card. Just like plays to the board early, pressures control, blocks fine against aggro.
Don't blink or you'll miss me.
Don't blink. I get Ravenous blocked here, I imagine. My goal isn't to be a super end game control deck. So that's why I didn't put a bunch of things like the Cornea control deck that people are talking about in chat. That was intentional. I watch other people play builds of this deck that were like Ruination control deck type focus with finishers like that, and they seem to kind of flounder around a little bit too much and just die. One of the places that was a little bit more proactive.
Death is like the wind, always by my side.
This is quite perfect.
No cure.
Black Spear. Black Spear was another card that felt really unimpressive in all the games that I was watching last night and this morning.
Clear my name.
The setup just felt like a little bit too much.
Sleep is for the guiltless.
What's that noise?
What's that
Life and
noise?
death on the blade's edge.
Elise! Elise! My progress is not bad. Well, that's just rude. I tried Funsmith. I have not. You can always see everything that I've played on stream by checking out my YouTube channel and my website. There's playlists on both those places that have all of the things I've been working on and trying out. I think I'm just using all of my mana here. We're gonna eventually stack up a bunch of little damages to kill this. With Progress Day in hand, I really want to focus on being resource efficient. I don't think I'm supposed to rummage in response here, because Progress Day is just that important. If I rummage, I have to find another Static Shock or a Mystic Shot or a Vile Feast. It's like 6 hits in 29 cards. Feels Batman.
Maybe I do have a future.
Right on time, Jury Rig. Welcome to the party.
Lady Elise?
Where
are you?
Where are you?
I must get out of here.
Wee McGee, thank you for the 27 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I appreciate it, Wee. I'm doing swell. Thanks for keeping me around. So, my Dorko gets to live here at least. He gets to
Is a
live.
leaf's only purpose to fall? Some things never die.
Squadron Day, yep. Okay, so with this Vengeance drawn, I can play Ezreal here, and then we can Vengeance Yasuo in response to a stun.
World's a big place. Let's see all of it.
Does Vengeance still kill the copy? It does. Okay, so Ezreal lives here at least. It's worth noting. I think I'm just banking spell mana this turn as opposed to playing Elise.
Always by my side.
No way.
About two games in, Cody. You're supposed to play her out to trade now.
Life and death on the blade's edge.
I kind of want to ditch Elise to... I kind of want to ditch Elise to the Rummage now, I think. I think we do this, and then we can Static Shock to kill these. Why don't I play a different deck? I would love to play your deck. You can submit a deck to be played on stream by following the directions on my website right there.
That egg.
Did it move? Also, for those that are new to the channel, I keep hitting the ban button. We're in a banning mood. Someone time that person out. Jeff, play this other deck. It's strictly better. Why? Use your words. You're a big kid. You're an adult. You're in my Twitch chat. I bet you could put some sentences together and tell me why you think your other deck is better. I think there's a chance that you're right. I think we just threw this deck together for the first time, and we're trying it for ourselves to see how it feels, and there's a chance that it's worse than something else, but put a coherent sentence together. Tell me why you think this other thing is better, instead of just coming in here and dropping your pants and taking a crap on the thing that we're playing. Be constructive, or don't type in my chat. Don't just be rude. Ow, Jeff, you're really rude to that person that was rude to you first. You should be nicer. Nah, stop it. If we hit both of these, and then we thermo beam this for the last 4 points. Ooh, I think I'd actually rather just kill this to start.
No cure for fools.
No, listen, Yasuo knows, chat. There's no cure for fools. What an apt and appropriately timed voice line, Yasuo. I have never felt something deeper in my soul than this moment right now in this video game. Jeff, the balance changes have been out for almost an entire day, Jeff. I am confident that this other build is better than what you're currently playing, Jeff. We've had 24 hours, Jeff. The confidence with which I swell that this other build is better is large.
Don't let the fluffy tails fool you. Wouldn't
I prefer to block into Ezreal Vengeance there? Why? Use your words. Explain to me why your play is better. Help me understand. That's their last chance. I think they have one more.
Think you're fast? Cute.
And that's a good point from chat. If you leave the Yasuo in play and play the Ezreal, it gives them a chance to stun your thing, and then your thing dies. Charge. I think I'm just passing here.
Free and lonesome as a summer breeze. Don't you dare!
Now who's got the upper hand? Underestimate me. I dare you.
I feel like in the event their last card is Nopify here, I'm supposed to, or deny, I'm supposed to Zonite here, just to have more blockers.
Pick on some of your own speed.
And just get my chump block on.
Time for a true display of skill.
Should have said it.
Come closer. I don't bite.
That was a sweet game.
Surprise.
And like, I love how, like, it really makes the person that came in here as like Jeff the Rekindler version's just better, where we're literally playing a game where Elise was instrumental in the game that we played, right? So like, again, I don't have confidence or certainty that with the two games that I've played that my build is better than this other one. But like, the idea that we can assert after 24 hours with confidence that this deck is just worse than the other one because you watched some other person on stream play it is really silly. We mulligan these. I'm going to keep these as cheap interaction. Would love some other cheap interaction. This is very likely the spider burn deck, so I'd love a lot of my things that kill things. Yeah, Ernie, and the type of stuff that flies in other chats with lazy predictions is just, yeah. I want my chat to be more useful than that.
Explosives primed.
To the person that I just timed out who complained they didn't open a single Bowmat after buying $100 worth of Magic Arena cards, people like you continuing to pour money into their predatory, user-unfriendly system is exactly why you can spend $100 on Magic Arena and still not get the cards you actually wanted. Because Magic players will complain to the sun and back that things aren't good for them, but they'll still keep shoveling piles of money into Wizards of the Coast pocket.
It will all be over soon. So young.
Yeah, I agree, Pickleball. More tournaments should drive more innovation. Big agree. I think I'm actually just making some spiders here. Am I? I guess if I could double 2-mana spell next turn if I don't do this, but I think I want to do this. I think I want some spooters here. Because, like, the spooter blocks this anyways, right? And then this Mystic Shot kills her. So that seems fine. Yeah, I agree, Nightwings. The multi-deck format means even if things are a little out of whack in terms of balance for a little bit, you get to, You get to have it be A-okay. We just go ahead and kill her. We take a little bit of a hit this turn, but I've got some life gain in hand, so it's not too big of a deal. So I actually get to chump block this here, and then play this, and then level Elise next turn, which is stellar. She levels when you have 3+ spiders at the start of your turn.
Now enjoy it. Let me change into something more comfortable.
I agree, Hat Crab. Love the champion level up design from a game design perspective. Hopefully they play another X2 and I get to Vile Feast again and then kill their whole board. Play a Grenadier for me, will ya? Rats. We're lucky. We should swap Elise for Rekindler. Yeah, right. I'm sure the person that we timed out for making a lazy suggestion promptly changed the channel. But, like, I really hope that, like, this game and the last game is highlighted for folks, like, why Elise has potential in a shell like this. Yeah, if we can survive these next couple of turns here, Progress Day is going to mean that we don't run out of gas, which is great. We should add 3 Ledros and some atrocities. Yeah, exactly. So, the opponent's archetype has a lot of reach in it. So I think I'm actually trading Elise off here pretty defensively. And I'm going to trade this in to game 3 as well. I think staying at 14 is important so I can live long enough for this Progress Day to generate card advantage. Just a lot of everything, Jota. Is there a roadmap for Runeterra Worlds? I don't believe they've announced organized play outside of their seasonal tournaments currently, Pickleball Lost. Thanks, Turk. I think we use this as a game 3 here. We're just trying not to get burned out at this point. I could have blocked Elise to the 2-1. Yeah, maybe that's better. I could see that. It technically only loses us 1 point of damage overall.
Lady Elise, where are you?
That could have perhaps been a better line, Deckmaster. Can I go ahead and pressure here a little bit? 2 1-1s, I'll trade this through and over the course of a couple turns. It's not terrible. We take those. So again, we're at the point of the game where Progress Day is just our best possible draw, so I'm really glad that I have 3 of them in my deck. Well, two remaining now, but... I really think... Nah, you can ban that person now. It's Jace. I like that's just such a typical Twitch chat thing. Admit that I was wrong because I said something obnoxious with no validation, then immediately say something obnoxious with no reasoning behind it as well. Just get out of here. And here I was impressed for half a second thinking they had ended up being a reasonable person, and then they doubled down on being a turd. Never change, Twitch. Never change. Or maybe change. Consider changing a little. Perhaps.
War Mason, reporting for duty. For the glory of Noxus.
I must get out of here.
Might get burned out here still. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's not burning us out, so I'm okay with it. Correct, yeah. I forgot my usual line. This is not an airport. You don't have to announce your departure. We just do this, looking for a progress day. That's just like the saddest straw ever after binning Rummage and playing this. Nailed it.
Check me out. I thought you'd never ask.
Are they dead this turn? This is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They would have been dead, but alas.
It's not bragging if you can back it up. Nailed it.
Gosh, these Doom Beasts are so good. Really make racing difficult. It's getting us closer and closer to getting burned out. Pretty sure I need to hold this vengeance in case they, in case they have a deal 3 to something. Definitely trading here.
Got something for him.
I didn't do nothing!
I didn't do nothing.
Run while you can.
Alright, do we vengeance jury rig open attacks here? I think we do, right? Is that too aggressive? I think that's appropriately aggressive. Yeah, ending the game before they can draw reach to kill us seems important. This deck felt really cohesive so far.
Easy. Like my name.
Yeah, I don't know, like, the jury rig rummage felt awkward at a couple of points that set, but honestly, I think it's probably fine. Oh, the one thing I'd like to wrap on and say is that increasing to 3 progress days definitely felt like a good decision. Like, anytime we got to a point where we made it to 8 mana, this is just the single best card in our deck to draw, basically, and I was never sad to see one base is essentially it. Especially with Rummage and Zoanite Urchin, the chances of this getting gummed up in the early game go down a lot because we can kind of filter through it. I really don't have any cuts I want. People keep talking about Chump Wump. I really don't have any cards in my deck I want to cut for Chump Wump. I don't have space. I agree that Chump Wump makes Rummage slightly less bad, but like the people that are saying Chump Wump is an alright body, you're overstating that card. Like, that card has never been good enough as just a 4/3. You really need synergy with the mushrooms, or like it was okay when the Puff Caps dealt 2 damage instead of 1 with Ezreal to help you combo kill people, but that card's really just not quite good enough otherwise. One One thing I might consider trying to fit into here, and this actually incentivizes us to keep these, is I definitely feel like one of the tougher parts is things like Swain or other big units. And while I have 3 Thermo Beams and 2 Vengeance here, I kind of wouldn't mind a 3rd Vengeance overall. Cut considerations for a 3rd Vengeance could be like Static Shot, or maybe one of these, or maybe even the Vengeance is just better than the 3rd Thermo Beam, like go 2-3 in the other direction. Vengeance being instant speed, fast speed is really, really relevant. This has more flexibility in the early turns, though, so it's kind of a trade-off. Overall, this deck felt really good. My one big takeaway from this set today, though, that I really hope people walk away from is Elise is super, super reasonable in this deck. Like, we would not have won nearly as many games as we won if it wasn't for the back of this card. Just the flexibility that she provides of being able to pressure control decks while simultaneously developing the board for us against aggro was invaluable, and she really makes Glimpse the Beyond playable. And like I said, Progress Day is one of our best cards to draw, and having things like Glimpse and this other card selection to get to them consistently felt really good, and all of this card draw meant that we could find Ezreal super, super consistently. Yeah, I think that could be a good observation, Captain Crunch, because we have things like Go Hard and Mystic Shot and Vile Feast. That could mean we don't need the flexibility on this as often, and it makes putting the 3-2 split in Vengeance's favor a little bit better. So yeah, overall, if you're looking for a sweet Ezreal deck, this one felt really fun. Had a lot of good sets in there. Definitely going to be one of my highlights this week. Thanks everybody for